are you? It's Ching, and we're going to injury-free exercise fundamental 6. This is Chinese 6, or like this, okay. On number 6, so last lesson, we talked about how to warm up the upper body on the floor and the preparation of the push-up, right? So now this week, we're going to talk about how to warm up using the floor, right? From waist down, which is what? Your leg, and which everybody uses so often because that's your cardio. We like to walk, and we like to run, we like to do bicycles, stationary, especially right now with the cover, stationary bike, at home, right, working hard. But we need to stretch out. So our leg gets a lot of abuse, and if you want to change that abuse to a more benefit, exercise, beneficial for you, you have to add a warm up and stretch after. So most popular exercise is too mechanical, so look like what? Robots. So here we're gonna still incorporate a lot of spiral because we have the rotator cuff in the shoulder, right? On the hip socket, okay, you have gluteus maximus, you have medial rotator, lateral rotator, flexor, extensor, adductor. There's a lot of muscle there, right? But why we just keep killing those flexor? And they say, we like to be the starting row, but can I have some support, right? Because there's other muscle there. So we're going to talk about that today. But before we start, a little bit of anatomy, okay? Because if you don't understand your body, you're doing wishful thinking, right? You just beat yourself up. And you can't beat yourself up too long. And when you're young, then I call it young and restless exercise, right? That's fine. We're all the same. I did it. I did my dancing, so until my hip can't stand it anymore, my knee can't stand it. I still love to move, so how can I reinvent? So that's the same idea with the martial artists. You change the martial art practice into Tai Chi Chuan, Tai Chi Sword, Tai Chi Sable, and Qigong. So we can still move, but we preserve, right? We create more energy and we charge out the body instead of spend all the time because we can't afford to spend anymore. We wanted to what? Keep cultivating better energy so we can sustain longer. Okay, so same thing with any strengthening exercise. Don't beat up your body. It feels like a hero mentality, but not very smart after a while, right? So you're gonna know the body. Okay, so anatomy. So when you're lying down, stretching the leg, that means everything waist down, okay? So this is gonna be all involved. Your pelvis, your thigh, right? Thigh is your femur, we call it, okay? The name's femur, thigh. Then you have tibia and the fibula, okay? There are two bones here, just like the hand. So you can rotate a little bit. You don't want a lot of motion, then you don't have a stabilization. You're not stable. When you run, you might twist everything, right? So whose job is that? What part of your body does that stabilization? It's actually ligaments, right? Your ligament holds the bone to bone together. So inside you say, in your knee, you heard about there's ACL, right? Anterior cruciate ligament. And then there's a posterior one, right? Then there's side on the side. They stabilize your joint very well. Unless football is hard because you're being tackled all the time. So what do you need to develop the strength to help the ligament is the muscles, right? So that's why we're gonna do a little bit of rotation here. You will see me do that. So from the plateau of the tibia is your shin bone, okay? And you heard there's a lot of video I talk about already. So I'm gonna go a little faster. So your ankle, you can do dorsiflex, inverting, everting, okay? So there's ankle, move that ankle right here. The outside ankle, which come from the fibula, the side bone here, okay? They're a little thinner, you need to protect more. So now you have, so the ankle, lateral ankle bone is the extension of the fibula. And you can see it's a little longer than the inside. So what happened? It prevents you drop the arch so much, okay? It's all functional stuff. I'm not gonna talk too much about it. So I'm gonna move up. So if you do all this movement with the rope, okay, and I will talk about that a little later, and you can see all the muscles working from the leg. So the leg and your feet is wonderful connection, okay, good relationship. You're gonna figure it out. We're gonna learn that as you move, okay? So anatomy is the name of those muscles. Well, once you know the name, you say, what's the purpose for them to be there, right? Then you use their purpose to help you stretch or strengthening. Then it's proper. Then that's the proper program for you. If you just go beat up yourself without knowing them, that's not very nice, right? So here we go. And here, then your thigh, your front, you have quadricep. The side, one of the big quadriceps actually on the side called a vastus lateralis, tibian. The back of your leg we call a hamstring. The inside, the inner thigh, there are 5 adductors, okay? So that adducting my leg to the center line, and abductor pull the legs away. So it's abduction, adductors a muscle for it, okay? We're gonna stretch all of them. Then we're not gonna do the quadricep today, and it's gonna be in the class when we start teaching the next week, when we start strengthening, purposeful strengthening exercise, okay? So this is all preparation. I'm gonna teach all the leg stretch, okay? And your leg and your thigh muscle all on it with the rope, okay? The length of the rope is about your height. If you're 5'2", you cut a 5'2", you cut 5'5", then you make it knot. You're gonna lose a little bit, right? You're gonna make it knot so you don't frail. If you say, I don't have a rope today, no, use a long belt if you can find a long belt. Or yoga has a yoga strap too, that's not bad. I prefer the rope, but everything else for today is fine. And here, you can find the rope like this. It's about almost ½ inch to 3/4 inch diameter from any the home improvement store, and have them cut. Like I say, if you're 5'5", extra 3 inches, right? 5'8", cut it, and I always tie a rubber band at the end so they don't frail. Then I make a knot. If it's too long, you make it 2 knots. See, this one has 2 knots. Okay, no problem. So it's common sense. So rope is easier because we're gonna have wrapping the ropes in and out. So it's much easier more flexible for you to use compared to the belt. But it's okay if you don't have it. We made to do learn it first to feel your muscle how they talk to you. Okay. So that's the anatomy of the leg. And we're going to use those muscles we're going to use. Okay, you ready? Here we go. So you always warm up, and you should always stretch out. If you don't have time to warm up before you go out running your 3-4 miles or 10 miles, or your 5 miles bike ride, or at home with a Peloton, right? You gotta stretch out because you use the same muscle over and over and over. And then today you do it, tomorrow you do again, the next day you do again. Because even they add a different exercise to it, still the same thing. It's always flex the hip and bend your knee. So, because they're there for us to use, and we're not creative enough to use it, then, right, clean up. It's like you're two in a toolbox. You open a toolbox, you see your tool line, cleaned it up, right? No rusty, or the same. So like I always say, don't use a hammer to take care of every single problem, right? So here, don't use your cardio to take care of every single problem. So the problem with the cardio involved 2 things, which create the injury very easy. The 2 things is what? Prolonged position, you're in the same position, right? And repetitive movement. It's constantly killing the leg. So you got both of them really hurting you. But because the hero mentality kind of lead us a little away from the reality, right? It's okay. Bring back the reality by learning the muscle first. Okay, I'm turning a little bit. You see my whole leg and my spine. So I'm sitting on the sit bone. Okay, inhale, exhale. I love this stretching. This originally I learned from Aaron Mattis. They call it active IC stretching. I kind of modified it a little more, add a little more to it. Inhale, exhale. So we're using now class. Okay, so I'm warming up my calf. Okay, everything in the back first. Now I'm everting dorsiflex. So you know what dorsiflexion means, right? Dorsal is part of your foot. This dorsiflex, that's plantar flexion. You stretch the front and stretch the back of your leg and stretch the top of your leg. So when you do all that movement, you can see how well your leg and your foot connect beautifully with all this muscle here. Hollow your tummy. Okay, now ready? So you can feel I'm stretched the peroneus longus and the brevis all the way down. Now I'm going to do everting dorsiflex. You won't feel this much because there's not a lot of movement. Thank God. We don't want to allow you don't want to drop that arch because that's not good. That will hurt your knee really bad. That's why they say don't. Doctors say, oh, you have a drop foot, right? Drop arch. Your drop is collapse. Your arch is collapse or pronation. Okay, those are the same thing. Because that will ruin the knee a lot. So it's designed protecting you. Okay, so you just really want to know. Don't overly do it. Ankle joints very important, especially stability. Remember ligament stability, in and out. So I'm wiggle them out. I'm warming them up, getting that nice range of motion. Otherwise, your ankle is so tight, right? If your ankle is so tight, how can you run? How can you jump? Because there's no movement. It's not pushing you, right? So go, right? It's not good. Inhale, exhale, 1. Hollow tummy, 2, and 3. I move my leg out. So you see my heel is off a little bit. It's because my calf is so big, but I'm not trying to lift up and hyperextend my knee. That's not what I'm trying to do. I really want to feel at the calf. Okay, so there you go. And then here, I bring this leg in so you can see better. I'm still sitting tall. And hollow tummy, 2. I'm stretching this peroneus longus, the left leg. Now, everting and stretch. Like I say, there's not a lot of movement when you do everting because the ankle bone is longer, right, to stop you. Because we don't want to have that arch drop so much and then hurt the meniscus, okay, in your knee. Every time I teach this, I'm just so very deep gratitude how amazing this body is. And if you don't want to learn it, it's okay. I hope you want to learn it, okay? Because it's the only one you have. And if you don't take care, you can't give the body to the doctor, right? They say, come see me when you're sick. Here we go. Engage your downward ankle toes. So we're going to be a miracle keeper, right? Your body, we talk about this, it's like a miracle. Unbelievable. From baby growing up, if you hurt and then your body knows how to recover. So I'm not articulating my foot. I'm going to flex. So I'm getting all my foot ready. You're both of your foot ready, not all my foot. You're both of your foot ready. All the muscle, that's what I'm trying to say. You do everting plantar flexion, inverting dorsal. So that's another beautiful. If you're going to do any repair, if you hit the gym all the time, you need to do this. Right? You're in the shoes, so you don't never see your toes and your foot. You don't care. I know you care. You just no one tell you to pay attention to it. It's so important and goes around because you put all your body's weight right on that foot, right? The foot says, "Would you take care? Give me a little bit tender, loving care. Stretch out." Okay, strengthening now. Ready? I'm gonna flex my toes all the way up. Look weird, but it's so good. Okay, so I'm strengthening the everting and the inverter, right? Those muscles and the Tom, Dick, and Harry. I'm strengthening the extensor of the leg, the flexor on the thigh. Okay, if you get cramped, let's just tell you how weak those muscle is, right? And go, flex, up, long distance talk, go, and go. Okay, shake it out a little bit. I do this program we have right now. I I use that for warm up after we do the upper body warm up. So before the Pilates class, we do at least half hour because my class is hour and half. Okay, very long. So half of the class is all this stretching, the sitting stretching for the upper body, lying down. So when we sharpen up the body, getting all ready, then we do the strengthening work. Because there's a lot of work, your leg had to come out already, and your flexibility not there, you're just struggling. So my weekly Pilates class is like we have beginner and intermediate, that's one class, different level, and intermediate advanced. Before they join those Pilates class, they have to do color purposeful movement class, basic class, okay? The purposeful movement, I teach all this. You know, after you learn it, I say, okay, now you can advance into the Pilates stretching, the Pilates strengthening work, okay? The two levels take a while to get there. Then you can also add in the Qigong Tai Chi Chuan too. So we have a lot of things to choices you can use. And I also teach you how to run and how to walk properly, okay? So here we go. So it's like a really well-rounded program. Try to do that. Try to do a well-rounded program. Now I'm sitting in the center. This one, I already taught you, we call it sit-up 101. So I'm going to lie down gracefully. Inhale. I'm going to gently inner thigh, pelvic floor, first responder. See, articulate, I keep my toes down. I hollow my tummy. I articulate myself right down. You can see if somehow you lie here, if you have a forehead, this is not fun to exercise like this, right? Your back is too round here. To fix that is put a pillow. So now your chin is down, you look to ceiling. You're not overextend the neck, okay? So you can use this pillow. I'm not going to. Here we go. Because I'm fine this way. So I'm lying down home base. You already learned, I taught you what home base means. Okay, two more things before we start the hamstring stretch. I'm going to hold the outside your foot, my foot, and you grab for yours. I'm grab for mine. Knee to the outside rib. Whoa. This is so good. I call it single leg happy baby. One leg. You know, the baby can bring their toes right to their mouth. Okay, chew on it anyway. As we grow up, we should keep this movement alive, okay? So because we're release the hip flexor, because it's past 90 degrees, so it should be nice and relaxed. Because we're gonna do a lot of flexion work to stretch the hamstring. So I'm gonna prepare not to fire up. If you ride your bike and running all the time, this muscle is killing you, right? It is so tight. And because you overly using, not stretching it. Okay, so ready? That's the first one. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna show you the modification. You can use the rope. You say, heck, I can reach my foot. Yes, you will someday. Not today, but that's okay. So I'm gonna use the rope. Sorry. So the rope gives me a little extra space, right? And I still pull down. So my elbows go inside. There's an elbow go inside. It's kind of second position except elbow bend. Knee to the floor. Your ankle, knee, your tibia and the fibula, right, which is your leg, is perpendicular to the floor. So now you also feel you're stretching out, open up the inner thigh, and you warm up your gluteal maximum. And also, right, lubricate the hip socket joint. So lots of things happen. Cross the right leg over the left. One more before we do the stretch. I'm going to open my right arm on the floor, left hand, okay? Neutral spine, so there's a little curve under my lumbar. Don't exaggerate, don't pop the rib cage. Inhale, don't pop the rib cage. Okay, so inhale, hollow tummy. There's so much to talk about, so sometimes I talk too fast. Hollow tummy stretch, so you can feel you're warming up the IT band. You should feel that sensation all the way to the ilium. There's a nice pelvic bone round. Okay, so your arm on the side, you want to keep the right shoulders on the floor. You want to flip over. If you flip over, you don't have stretch. Because stretch is what two pulls, right? If I pull this way, I pull, that's a stretch. So if I go, I felt, right? And that's called falling or leading. Hollow your tummy again. Don't go into lower back, okay? Don't arch your back. Let go of the hands, contract your abdominal, roll right back. Okay, some of you so hypermobile, the joint so hypermobile. It's always the joint exercise, so you never build the muscles, and then you're wearing off the joint right away. So inhale, contract your abdominal, you're wearing off the cartilage that protects the joint for movement. So it will help you to glide more. Hollow your tummy and cross. So I turn my head to the other way, so I create that nice spiral, right? Opposition. Hollow tummy. Release the right hand, tummy in, come back. Okay, you ready? You can use the rope or your belt. Hook your foot. So I'm peek back, this is my right leg, same height as the left, so it's 45 degrees up. See, this is 90, then there's past 90, right? So it's just 45. Hold the rope on each hand. Hollow your tummy, pull 1. Reach out the heel, 2. Don't use your scapula, use your biceps. So I kick my elbow down and just the rope help me stretch a little more. Okay, great. So what was that is to stretch the proximal portion of your gastra, which is gastrocnemius, one of your calf muscle. Those tendon goes behind, inside, deep side of your hamstring. Okay, so now we're gonna do hamstring. If you bend your knee, you feel all this tendon, there's a lot of different tendon. This big one, okay, and there's tibia right here. This big one back here is called the biceps femoris. You connect to the head of fibula. So because your knee bend all the time, you're sitting, working, driving. We haven't fly for a while, so but if you're on the airplane sometime, yeah, I'm in Connecticut. If I have to fly back to Taiwan, that's like 16 hours. It's a lot of sitting. So you get out of the airplane, it's like, oh my God, I don't know how to straight up, right? So knee always bends, so it's really tight. So we call this area connect to your leg, okay? You connect it. It's the distal hamstring, proximal to the sit bone. So we're gonna stretch out the distal hamstring, just straight your leg, 1. Again, hollow your tummy. So I use, right, with one action, you get equal opposite reaction. So you have contract the front, which is distal quadricep. Just stretch your knee, say, no, I can't. So you just lower a little bit, okay? Find the way. The most important is to keep it straight. You don't want to come up here and say you're stretching. You're not stretching. You're still bending. You have to be straight. So what you're going to do is use a little bit of common sense. I go a little lower, okay? So inhale, exhale. So you see my hand stabilize the femur, right? So you see why. Okay, here goes. The second distal hamstring stretch, the rope goes inside the ankle. See, I'm just wrapping the ankle only. I bend your knee. It's going to be very neat when you exercise too. Put your hands on your leg. You're going to medial rotate. You can see that. You can see your toe goes in a little bit, but it's come from here, okay? The plateau. So that's why I stabilize my femur. I don't want my thigh, which your femur, rotate. So I'm stabilized. So I have much better control. It's very small movement. And 4 times. 3. Hollow tummy, 4. Okay, now rope goes outside. You ready? Stabilize the femur, laterally rotate. Inhale, exhale, 1. Exhale, 2. Again, you can feel that distal quadricep contract straight down knee, 3. So a lot of you can't straighten knee because every single cardio exercise needs bend. So we're so used to it, right? And then you don't understand. Why are you exercising? Inhale, if you keep the body in that same position all the time, right? Skiing too, same thing. Inhale, hollow your tummy comes in, 1. Sorry. Now I'm involving the proximal pushing hamstring. You can feel it's connected to sit bone. So hamstring is 3 muscles. The lateral side, the one to the side of your leg in the back here, called the biceps femoris. The biceps means 2 head, right? 2. Short head and the long head, okay? So long head to the sit bone, the short head is from the back of the femur going down. And then toward the medial portion, you have semi tendon, semi member. They kind of together like this. let's see my finger. So like they're like a twin together. So that's a medial. So we're going to stretch all three of them. Just wake them up first. 1, hollow tummy. 2, and 3. I did it many times. So you say, oh, I can't go all the way. That's fine. If you're really flexible, you can go a little more. It's fine too. The most important thing is you form. You have to keep your pelvic neutral. Well, I'm not doing this. I show you. I'm not doing this. That stretch my lower back. But if you sit all the time, your lower back's it's already totally open. So inhale. I'm going to hollow my tummy. Use my first responder. Stabilize my pelvic and pull that leg toward me. Now that's a true stretch from the calf all the way to the hamstring. The whole back side of the leg, okay? If you pass 90 degrees, you may slide the left leg out. So get a little more challenge. Exhale, get a little more challenge. Up. Keep reach out both here. Hollow your tummy, right? Don't tilt your pelvic. And if your knee bend, that means psoas is very tight. So you keep your knee bend and keep your pelvis straight. So we're going to do 2 more times with the leg bend. Okay, inhale. Exhale again, go. Okay, now the trick comes in, right? Rope inside. You immediately rotate the entire leg from the hip socket now. Okay, so I'm not stabilizing my femur anymore. And straight down, inhale. Exhale, grab hold of the rope. You bend your elbow, no scapula, bring in. I'm stretching the medial hamstring. Inhale, exhale, 2. I'm going to straight up my other leg. 3. So when you bring the leg towards you, your sit bone is reaching to the end of your mat. 4. Inhale, exhale, 5. Hollow tummy, 6. Inhale, exhale, 7. Inhale, exhale, 8. Stay. And extra stretch. 1. It's a little more breath here. 2. We talk to the fascia, okay? Fascia gets really tight. You can feel like, sometimes feel like the skin is ripping a little bit, right? Here we go. That's okay. You just do a lot of discover right now, right? Discover your body. So now ropes outside the ankle. I'm wrapping very neatly. Rotate the leg. Can you see? My toes pointing outside now, straight down. Perpendicular first, if you can, okay? So now grab hold of the rope. Cross over, bring the knee to the opposite rib cage. 1. Exhale, 2. Guess what? We're talking to the biceps femoris. It's screaming at you, right? 3. Inhale, exhale, 4. Inhale, exhale, 5. And 6. Inhale, exhale, 7. Inhale, exhale, 8. Stay. I'm going to try to keep my pelvis square a little bit. And 1. So I feel more. And go. Really feel those muscles, right? You do want to talk to the right muscle. You want to stretch the right muscle. We're going to cross the lower leg now. We're going to the IT band. So on the side of your leg, this vastus lateral LA. It's one of your quadricep. And the IT band. Okay, very long. From the side of your knee all the way up to the ilium. This is 1. It's very long. So we have 3 stretch here. 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. So only 45 degree up. Cross over. So I'm going to get to the distal portion a little bit. Distal is being away from the heart, right? And the proximal is being closer to the heart. You ready? Come straight up. Grab hold of the rope to maintain the lateral rotation. So our toes point to the right side. Open your right arm. You're going to rotate your head a little bit and cross. So I also like to do this and press my pelvis down a little bit, keep it square, and then cross over. Can feel the IT band really screaming. 1 and return. It's a weight bearing muscle. 2. Right? If you stand up, we're walking, thank God. We're 2 legs creature. Beautiful, right? We can do a lot of tricks. We can dance, martial art, climb the rocks. Inhale, exhale, go. From 2, we have 4 because the arm comes in, so become 4. But we upright. Inhale, exhale, so we can have more challenge compared to beautiful our doggy and cat and 4, all the animals out there. Okay, last part. If you're flexible, you're gonna bring the knee to the opposite rib cage and cross over. You say, no, that's not gonna happen. No, it's okay. Then you just keep doing what you can do. It's a baby steps, one step at a time, getting those muscles open. There is no wishful thinking. And then I'll do the right way. Go all the way up. Last one. Inhale, exhale. So like I say, you got 2 choices. You can turn this way. Your torso is not from waist up, not moving. Inhale, exhale, 1. Extra breath, 2. And 3. Okay, here we go. Last one, the rope goes inside. We'll almost cover most of the muscle on the leg. So my lower leg open, top leg medially rotate straight down. Coming up, grapple the rope really close to your ankle. You say, heck, there's no way, right? If you're right there, it's okay. You can just take out to the side a little bit like here. But if you pass 90 degrees, you can see my toes point to the midline of my body and yours too, right? Then grapple. I'm going to knee gonna follow the elbow out to the side and the toes point to your head, okay? Not to the floor. That's not good because you're going to hurt your SI joint, okay? Very careful. And go 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. So like some of you, if you're a dancer or gymnast, if you're flexible, you slide your hands up to the heel and take it out to the side. 3. You can really feel that adductor, inner thigh stretch. And 4. This one should be a feel good one. Inhale, exhale, 5. Inhale, exhale, 6. And exhale, 7. Just do 8 times. And 8, stay here. Inhale, exhale, 1. And 2. And 3. So we get a maximum stretch. And we turn. So I bring my left leg in. I'm taking the rope off your right foot. Keep the right heel on and just shake it out a little bit gentle because I don't want you going to an SI joint. Only one leg shake because you will only stretch out the right leg. And then you laterally rotate. We do a movement called a hip release. We let go all those muscles we worked on. Okay, here we go. Again, do the second leg, but I'm going to change a little bit so you can see better. Here we go. Okay, this direction so you can see my left leg very clear. Okay, so now I'm going to hold the rope, one each hand, bend my elbow. Your legs come about 45 degrees. Exhale, hollow your tummy. You stretch the proximal portion of your gastra. It's deep inside the distal hamstring. Just 4 times. Let's do one more. Okay, ready? Now, we're going to talk to the hamstring now, okay? Distal behind the knee. Inhale. So I have to contract the distal quadricep in the front in order to open the back. Inhale. Dorsiflexion, right? Don't do point. If you point, you're not stretching. And do dorsiflex. 2. 4 times. Hollow tummy. 3. You can bend the right leg. And 4. Keep your pelvis nice and even. Okay, now rope goes inside the ankle. Bend your knee. Remember, medial rotate from the tibia. So the shin, your tibia and the fibula, you can feel them rotate a little bit. That's all. Now you're going to stabilize your femur and come up. Femur is your thigh bone. Hollow your tummy. 2. And 3. And 4. Okay, ready? We're going to go wrapping outside very neatly. Only the ankle, not your calf. You see the rope? And come down, laterally rotate. Exhale, 1. Hollow tummy straight up, 2. So I'm stabilizing my femur, don't let it move. 3. So you laterally rotate from the plateau of your tibia. 4. Okay, you ready? Here comes the true hamstring stretch. We're gonna add in the proximal portion. So use the rope, help me to lift the leg up. Grapple the rope, close to the ankle. You're gonna bend your elbow, bring the leg towards you. You're gonna really feel that nice hamstring stretch, all 3 muscles, right? There's 3 hamstring muscles. Hollow tummy, 2, 4 times to warm up. And 3, softly go down, up, 4. Like I say, if you pass 90 degrees, extend the lower leg straight. Okay, so inhale, exhale, you have 1, we're gonna do 6 times. Hollow your tummy, don't tuck your pelvis, 2, right? Don't do this, right? The wishful thinking, inhale, exhale, hollow your tummy, 3, so maintain your pelvis neutral. And 4, keep reach out the lower heel, 2. And 5, okay, I'm gonna stay here. You can see I'm sending the left sit bone toward the wall, okay? So that will help you not to tuck. This last one, stay, inhale, exhale, 1, 2, 3. Okay, bend your knee, we're gonna switch. Okay, so here we go. See, and wrap the ankle neatly. Rotate, okay, in the hip socket. You see the whole leg rotate from the hip socket, straight down. So you see the toe is in line with the midline of your body, pull towards your 1. So we're gonna stretch the medial hamstring. There are 2 muscles, remember? It's called semitendon and semimembranosus. Inhale, exhale, 3. Inhale, hollow your tummy, 4. Make sure your pelvis stay, right? Stabilize, 5. A lot of thinking. Inhale, exhale, 6. I always call, if you exercise where mind-body connection is the best meditation. Go, 1 more time, inhale, exhale, reaching, stay, hollow your tummy, 1, and 2, and 3, great. Now the rope goes outside. You ready? Laterally rotate the legs straight down. Here we go, grapple. The knee to the opposite shoulder, 1. We're talking to the biceps femoris. Can you see my leg cross a little bit? Hollow your tummy, 2. Inhale, exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 5. And 6. Keep reaching up, pelvis stay square, 7. Last one, 8, stay here. Reaching 1 and 2 and 3. Cross that lower leg to the midline. You ready? Cross 2 legs. 1. Hollow your tummy, crossing 2. Hollow your tummy, 3. And 4. You ready? So that's the distal portion of you. We're going to stretch the tibia, okay? So your leg, lower leg cross a little bit, remember? Can you see? I'm toward the midline now. Perpendicular, open the arm, look to that side. 1. So we go opposite. The tibia is the side of your leg. Don't move your pelvis. It's not how far you go. It's how well you maintain the stability. Remember stretching, stretch. So you're going to find the 2 poles and return. For myself, I like to hold my pelvis square and then cross. And sometimes I tell people if that's hard to do, open your arm helping you. So you got 2 ways. Pick one. Inhale, exhale, hollow your tummy. Go. And really feel that tibia all the way to the ilium. Hollow your tummy. Great. You ready? Knee to the opposite rib cage. Inhale, exhale, all the way. Big, big stretch. 1. So the form is right. Dorsal flexion, knee straight, laterally rotate. So you can keep remember there's 3 things. before you pull, right? Every one of them, when you wrap the ropes, change slightly, right? Dorsiflexion, knee straight, and laterally rotate. Dorsiflex, knee straight, it's always going to be there because stretch the back side of the leg or the side or the medial, okay? You can bend, so you're not stretching anymore, right? You have to be straight. So the other one is the laterally rotate or medial rotate, right? So or parallel position. So right now it's laterally rotate and create all the way down. Last one. Make sure you dorsiflex, knee straight, you feel the stretch already, and laterally rotate and cross over. Feel the tibia on the side of your leg. Okay, see, it's anatomy class. It's anatomy and kinesiology class. I'm going to open the lower leg, so let's call it abduction. Medial rotate perpendicular first, straight down. I use the left arm grab hold. Bring that leg to the outside. 1. So you really want to see how I hold the rope, okay? Exhale, 2. Which arm is using it, right? Inhale, exhale, 3. And 4. So here the detail, right? Dorsal flexion, knee straight, medially rotate, grapple the rope, bring it towards you first, right? So we target the medial part already. Now take to the side so I can continue, feel the inner thigh and return. Keep the right elbow down and cross, open, actually not cross, I'm sorry. Inhale, exhale again, open. So I'm going to bring the toe toward my head, not toward the floor, because remember I say you hurt your SI joint. So your tummy is always working, stay here, inhale, exhale, hollow your tummy, first response is always there, 1, and 2, and 3, bend the right leg first, and let go of the rope. Slide the leg out, shake it out a little bit. Rotate. You're going to recover, okay? And go back a little bit. The one thing I need to emphasize a little bit, I think I kind of missed it. So when the rope goes outside, you stretch the bicep femoris, right? The tighter ones. You have to, you're going to change your hands. The one that holding the rope, I call the holding the fishing rod, right? You're going to fish. You're going to hold the fishing rod. You pull the fish out. That's your leg. So now see I'm switching. So my right hand grab hold the rope, bring the knee to the opposite shoulder. Okay? So come down. This is the only one. So this is the bicep for more stretching. It's the only, an IT band, the only two. You change your left hand holding the fishing rod. Okay? The other one, right? The other one, you use the right hand to hold, left hand to pull. Okay? So once you watch over and over, you'll understand that's one part. How you switch the hand, how you switch the arm to help the movement. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to slowly rolling up. So now my head. Use my leg, contrive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember that's a sit-up 101. Okay, now, great. I'm not gonna stretch the quadricep. There will be goes into later on next week. Gradually, we'll do the quadricep stretch at the end, strengthening exercise. Okay, so now I think there's plenty information for today. You are doing the floor warm-up and stretch of the leg. Last week was floor warming up of the upper body. Okay, the spine, lots of movement. Okay, so just have you to appreciate your body, how many things, how much is happening, right? And the Qigong Tai Chi Chuan, I also adding into the what? Internal organ health. So that's the whole thing, right? You have external, you got all the, we call it skeletal muscle. That's influence the internal organ. And the first thing influences what? Your oxygen intake, right? Breathing. And the circulation, right? Movement is beautiful. When the oxygen intake higher and you're moving, your body can deliver, right? The red blood cell can deliver the nutrient from the nutrition and the oxygen to your brain cell first. So that help you have a positive thinking, so you don't give up things too easy, right? And you don't become a victim all the time. People scare you, you try not to be, right? Because you have to find a source. Anyway, that's it for today. Okay, I'll see you next week. Take care. The next lesson. Keep watching, keep practicing, because this is super, super important as a warm-up and as a stretch. You can do before you go running 5 miles, 20 miles, I don't care how many, or after. If you don't have time before, you definitely do after, because the next day you wake up happy in the morning. Okay, take good care.